13-2. And anyone in the NFL today would sign up for that.
The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. They'll be led out by the #1 overall pick of the 2008 draft, the man they call Matty Ice, quarterback Matt Ryan.
Okay, I thought there was something to build on in last week's game by his performance. I thought he played fairly well overall. The numbers won't knock your socks off. 2 touchdown passes and an interception. The bottom line, though, they lost.
Yeah.
How does he eliminate that one interception, continue to take care of the ball, and maybe increase the number of times he puts the ball in the end zone with a receiver?
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Everything looked right on that play except the conclusion. He dropped it. An in route, going into a little bit of traffic. Maybe in the back of his mind, he was wondering where the hit was going to come from.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw again. Ryan. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. They couldn't contain Deshaun Hand that time as he gets home for the sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
So the sack pushes him back, and now 3rd and long for Ryan and the Falcons. Ryan under pressure again, and down he goes again. Bud Dupree racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50, 1st and 10. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. From the 50, Stafford. This complete to Jones. Call it a pickup of 7, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now the former Terrapin, this is Ty Johnson. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
So 3rd and 2, this quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. The first carry now, this is Johnson. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. They're able to convert with a gain of 4. Had a chance to maybe limit them to 3 if they could have gotten that stop there, but a new set of downs.
And with a new set of downs, you got to take the mentality of the whole thing. Right now, everyone's looking at the offense and saying they've got the advantage. The best defenses just say, okay, new set of downs, gives us another chance to make a play ourselves and maybe change things up.
Hey, exit.
Stafford on first down. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. This unit, they've struggled a little bit against the pass, ranked number 21 in the league.
And I think you're going to see some changes in the offseason, whether it's through the draft, free agency, maybe even both. They definitely need some help in the secondary.
So line of scrimmage still to 39 on 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Stafford. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 27-yard line. On first down, Stafford here. Caught here by Conley. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. First down, Detroit, 16 yards on the pickup. On first down, it's Stafford. And he's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. Chris Conley, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Well, these guys have won 3 straight ball games and another good start to this one out to the 6-0 lead.
And I've talked with so many different coaches, as have you, along the way, and they always talk about winning streaks and the mood of a team and how much easier it is to actually prepare during that time. Guys are sharp, guys are focused, everyone's feeling good, and we're seeing it early in this one.
So this drive spans 7 plays, and the end result, a Detroit touchdown. So after the touchdown, Martin now on to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM, it always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
On 2nd and 11 now. Ryan. His throw incomplete. Trying to get that in the hands of Devontae Freeman that time. And it's 3rd down. A look now at the starters on the defensive side for the Lions. They were excellent a week ago in the victory over Arizona.
And they needed to be, because that game was a game you don't see very often anymore. Low scoring, slugging it out in the trenches. One play can make the difference type of a game, and they got it done.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the shotgun, Ryan. He's got Freeman here. It's complete. He'll have a first down past the 40. And finally taken down at the 30-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 45 yards.
I'm not sure this is how they had it drawn out on paper, but this is going to work out for them and then some, right? They've got a big chunk they got to pick up. They decide to check it down, and he just turns into a pure athlete and makes a huge play for them.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Mills, and he returns it here to his own 18-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
On second down now, it's Johnson. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Now on the heels of that run by Johnson, here's another 1st and 10. Throwing is Stafford. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First down Lions on a pickup of 13. The Lions with the football here to begin the second quarter, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. The Lions with the football here to begin the second quarter, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Stafford now to throw. James has got it, complete. And I think we've got a hold here. It's a 5-yard pickup for the moment. Let's see what our referee says. So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. From the gun, Stafford. And incomplete, crisis averted, almost picked. Instead, second down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. Throwing on second and long. Stafford into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by DeMonte Casey, and they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line.
Well, you were backed up into a second and long, but instead of trying to get the yardage back in chunks, he's trying to get it all back at once. And this defense was just lying in wait, and they're there to pick this one off.
After the interception, here's Ryan. Ryan hit, and he lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, the teammate is able to come up with the ball. The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
To throw is Ryan. Hits his target. It's Taylor Gabriel. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
That's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
The punter Bosher on now as he gets this one away. Oh, he's going to go ahead and field it from the 3-yard line. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Lions are going to take over with a long field ahead and a 1st and 10. And Detroit getting set to go now. A tale of two extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive, followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, it balances it out. And we know that's not really true, right? Because the interception, that sting lingers a little bit longer. Got to come out now and put together some nice plays.
11 yards there and a Lion first down. They'll run on first down. Johnson takes this to the 27. Give him 4 yards. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
From the 27, Stafford. And that's complete to Jesse James. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. It's a gain of 10 for the Lions and a first down. Stafford now 7 of 10 here in this first half, and he's got a 1st and 10. Stafford going to give this one off to Johnson. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man.
32.
On second down, it's Johnson. And he'll take this forward for 2, maybe 3. But we do have a flag down, and they're already marching backward. So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Out of the gun, Stafford. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. That one covers 29 yards. First down. 2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now a first down throw. Stafford. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. Well, this is how you shape the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And that will wind up just short. He had it on line. It ran out of gas at the end, and this score will stay right where it is. And that's the risk of the long field goal miss here at this stage of the second quarter. You give up great field position.
And that
about set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How did they break that goose egg? And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by the safety, Jarquiski Tart. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but if the ball's in the air, they treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
A try here for the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. Matt Ryan and the offense heading back onto the field. He's completed 4 passes so far in this game. The issue is 2 of them have been to the guys in the wrong colored jersey.
So I'd say there's a little bit of clouded vision, right? Sometimes he sees clearly, sometimes he doesn't. I know on the sideline they'll be going over things and talk about what the coverages are and what they're seeing. So you used to look at the snapshots, now you look at the Microsoft Surface Pro. He's got to analyze what he's seeing and be more accurate with the ball.
Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33.
Tight down. There you go.
Ryan. And it's hauled in by Austin Hooper. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. The Falcons going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December. Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake, after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
They begin the drive with Johnson. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Stafford. Got a man complete to Cedric Wilson. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first? Well, that certainly changes things.
Yeah, I think the thought process is they take this lead into the locker room, run something simple here and run the clock out. Instead, they get the big play. Now they have a chance to increase what they've done in the first half.
So the big play moves them all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. To throw is Stafford. He's got the hook up with Conley. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. The Lions now going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the 2nd quarter. Stafford now 11 of 16 through the air. It's 1st and 10.
53, ready.
From the red zone now, Stafford. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. Cedric Wilson, his first touchdown on the year. And the Lions are able to extend their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Extra point safely through, and that makes the score 21-0. So that drive, 4 plays, and it's capped off by a touchdown for the Lions. Here's Martin now following the score as he'll send this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. Heading back onto the field, here's a look at Devontae Freeman now. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the 2nd quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thank you very much. Some critical games going on as teams fight for those final playoff berths. Let's get you around the NFL here in a busy Week 16. We'll get started down at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. And it's the Dolphins who have the lead in that one. Albert Wilson, a touchdown catch in that first half. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. In the game you're watching, it's Matthew Stafford who's had it working in the first half. He's thrown for close to 200 yards already, and that's helped propel his guys into the lead. As we send you back to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Lions offense heading out as we give you a look at the playoff race coming into the weekend in the NFC. And right now, a lot to like on that screen. They've wrapped up the division, now currently sitting in the coveted number 2 spot. Of course, you want one, you'd love number 1, but if you can't have one, number 2 is pretty good.
I agree with you totally, and here's the other part, too. The really good teams, the really confident teams, they're not as worried about being number 1. 2 is fine because they feel like they can go on the road and win against number 1 if they absolutely have to. The big thing, though, is clinching one of those early byes and able to sit and get a little rest as the playoffs begin.
He'll get 17 that time, and the Lions have a first down. From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. From the gun, here's Stafford. He completes it to Jones. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 11 yards there and a Lion first down.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and this is what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
He's coming. We got double up.
On second down now, it's Johnson. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41. Again, it's Johnson. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. 11 yards there and a Lion first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. On first down, it's Johnson. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. Tackle made by Devondre Campbell.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Go. Big Ed. Check. Check 9. Check 24. Hurry up, get check.
On the ground, this is Johnson. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Ty Johnson, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. And certainly some credit there for that touchdown goes to the offensive line.
They never get the credit they deserve in the stat sheet, but they are the reason that they got the points. Excellent job up front, clearing the way for the score.
The extra point up and good. And it is 28-0. So that drive 7 plays in length. And the finishing touch was that nice long run into the end zone. So after the touchdown, Martin now on to kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. So we get set to start this third quarter. Here's the Falcons offense now. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down.
You gonna see me in your nightmares.
Ryan gets it off to Freeman. And he's taken down. It's a gain of 3 from the 17 to the 20.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Looking deep downfield, and that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, it really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to him.
This is taken at the 18. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Lions will take over. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive. As they score here, especially a touchdown, it's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Let's go.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Stafford throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Solid coverage on the play by Devondre Campbell. So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. The shotgun snap for Stafford. It's caught. Jones. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Stafford to Jones, enough for a Lion first down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
They go play action here on first down. Looking downfield for Jones. And it's intercepted. Picked up by DeMonte Kazin. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out.
Check 48. Watch the run. Watch the run. Watch the run.
Throwing on second down. Ryan, man open. That's Calvin Ridley. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. From the gun on 3rd down, Ryan. And he's got a man, Calvin Ridley. And he's out of bounds, but not before a big pickup that time on what's going to wind up being the final play of the 3rd quarter. Back now here on EA Sports. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Bud Dupree in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. The Falcons on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. Here's Ryan to throw. Open man, Taylor Gabriel. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remote's clicking off right now. Gonna look deep for Wilson. And that's gonna be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Falcons offense making their way onto the field. Let's take a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
You're impressed, don't you?
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games. Look, everyone's talking about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadruple. And that's where we are right now to see who can make this last run.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
So the sack pushes him back, and now 3rd and long for Ryan and the Falcons. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. Well, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And Detroit getting set to go now. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Stafford on 1st down. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. 2nd down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. To throw again. Stafford. Caught by Wilson. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. The Lions on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. They're up against a 3rd-and-1 situation. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here 1st and 10. On 1st down, Stafford here. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. Good coverage that time by the linebacker, Deion Jones. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
Hey, Orbit.
Throwing here, Stafford. Open man, he's got him, the tight end, Hockenson. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 20-yard line.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And he is out of bounds, looks like right at the 15. It's a gain of 5 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Now Stafford to the goal line, but it's incomplete. Chris Conley, the intended receiver. And it'll bring up 3rd down. They'll break the huddle and come up on the 9th play of this drive, needing 5 yards on 3rd down. Throwing is Stafford. And it's caught. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Extra point forthcoming. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. A pretty long drive that time, 11 plays all told. And the touchdown run came from Kerryon Johnson to cap things off. Here's Martin now following the score as he'll send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
He's got Freeman here. It's complete. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and it'll be 2nd and about a yard. To throw is Ryan. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Freeman.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that, 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Patrick Onwuasor. And he will score. Touchdown, Lions. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Now the final act of this victory, the extra point. It's up and good, and they add one more to what will wind up a fairly lopsided victory. So we had action to the very end of this one, the score on the final play that they didn't need to have. They didn't just run out the clock, though. They added to their final total.
Played it all the way to the end, and you know some coaches preach that and tell their teams that's what I want all the time, and they feel like if they don't do it themselves, they're not living up to the message that they're sending out.
So for Detroit, they continue to rack up the victories as this one moves them to 13-2 on the year. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Atlanta, they're guaranteed now a sub-500 season as they fall to 6-9. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.